What's going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back in the building with another video. And before we get into today's video, I just want to let everybody know, appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out. Hit the like button, subscribe here at the channel. Appreciate all the continued support at the Shop Podcast. We had episode 329 last week. It was a movie, so check that out in the link in the description below. It'll also be here on the screen. Go check the podcast out if you guys missed it. Shout out to the guests as well as everybody in chat. But let's start on today's video. So as you guys can see, I am making a standalone video. It's been a little bit of time since I made one of these, but I feel the need to continue to drop content for you guys. And as you guys can see at the thumbnail, we're talking about Xbox first party in 2024 and just the insane amount of versatility that the first party has, the insane amount of IPs, and what they're truly capable of, because sometimes people forget the perspective regarding where Xbox came from 2013 in 10 years time all the way to 2023 and what they've really accomplished in this period of time and what they are now capable of. So I kind of wanted to make some of those points and highlight some of them things, and really, me being an Xbox fan, kind of just highlight some of the things I'm excited about and what I expect from, you know, some of that first party output. But first things first, let's put some context around what I'm about to get into. So we can rewind time back to 2013, probably one of the darkest periods. It's right up there with the Ring of Death, right up there with the Ring of Death as far as one of the worst periods of time. That 2013 to 2015-16 period where Xbox had no hold on anything. The brand was in the mud. Donnie Matrix said, came out and said, hey, we have a console for you if you want to play online. That's the 360. Pretty much threw the entire brand under the bus, and then got a big check from Zynga and left and walked out the door. So left Xbox with no brand identity. Customer support probably was at the lowest. The first party output around that Xbox One actually was really good. There was a lot of really good first party games, but it got buried under all of the negative DRM stuff, the $500 stuff, the Kinect stuff, all of the stuff that just did not hit for Xbox around that period of time. Fast forward a couple years, Satya, the board at Microsoft, essentially elevate Phil Spencer to the CEO position, and that's really where things started to change. Now, it took a little bit of time, right? We've had some tough years in that period of time. Mind you, back then, I'll put the graphic up on the screen, around that 16, 17, 15 period of time, mind you, Xbox was only rocking maybe 3 to 5, maybe 6 first party studios. It was a very, very paltry offering from the first party offerings. And when you think about it, that's where the whole coin term comes from, Halo, Gears, Forza, because they really didn't have the amount of studios they needed to put out the amount of games that people expected from them. They had to rely on a lot of third party deals, a lot of second party stuff, things like that. So they were building up the brand as well as trying to build up first party studios. Now fast forward 10 years, right? We're in the renaissance of Xbox. They now have, and I'll put it up on the screen as you guys can see in the thumbnail as well, 40 plus if you break them all down. All right, now these are all the subsidiaries of all the acquisitions they made, from Bethesda, ZeniMax, all the way up to ABK. So they've gained so many, and this really, if you be honest, in the last 5 years that they've done this, they've literally like quadrupled the amount of studios that they've had. They've gone from that first batch of maybe like 8 to 10 studios. Now they're all the way up to about 40 plus. So it's incredible to see what they've done. And we talked about this. Shout out to Pong, shout out to Fuzz. This is why they're doing this. They're building a moat. When you have a service like Game Pass, one thing you have to guarantee is variety, and you have to guarantee value. You have to guarantee that you'll have the games that people want to play constantly being able to be added to the service. You can't be prey to trends and things happening, because what happens in gaming is the bottom falls out of things all the time. One month something's really hot, the next month it's ice cold. So games are never a guarantee. So to help themselves and to continue to build Game Pass, they had to create a machine to feed Game Pass, and this is what they did. This is why they've gone out with the help of Satya. Obviously, Satya had that conversation a few years ago and basically saved the Xbox brand. Satya bought into Phil's vision and said, look, I'm going to open up the wallet. Here's a blank check. Go do what you got to go do. Get this brand where we need to get it. You know, I understand the mobile plan. It works for Azure, so it works for Microsoft. We're now going to make you a pillar of our service here at Microsoft, not just a side project, which Xbox, as much success as it had, it was literally a side project for Microsoft, probably up until 18, 19. And that was recent times, 5, 6, 7 years ago, to be honest with you guys. So, you know, like I said, fast forward, now they have all the talent that they need. They've gone out, made the big acquisitions. You got Call of Duty first party. You've gone out and got a ton of talent. You've brought studios together like Obsidian. You brought them together with Bethesda, brought them together with inXile again. You got all these IPs. You got licensed IPs now. You actually have a relationship with Disney, Marvel. You got a couple of those now. You really have everything you need, and that's really what I want to highlight in this video. Not really any specific studio. When you really look at the list and break it all down, they really have everything they need going forward, which is a great spot to be in. On top of having Game Pass, you know, you have Nintendo, your competitors, you have Sony, which they're very good at particular things. Nintendo more so first party, you know, they don't really miss. They sell a ton of consoles. They have that Disney-like, you know, love, that Disney-like fan base, so they're always going to get that type of love. And Sony, right there with brand loyalty. You know, they're known for their high quality first party games. They're trying to figure out the games as a service game thing out. We'll see if that all pans out in the near future for them, but obviously they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Games are going to come out for PlayStation. As bleak as the roadmap looks currently for PlayStation, they're going to get it together. But the good thing about Xbox, and this is completely different than the previous years, right? The last 5, 6 years, is that it doesn't matter what Sony decides to get together or whatever Nintendo's doing. Xbox now has everything that they need. You know what I mean? Including the backing, the full backing of Microsoft to continue to pump out IPs, feed Game Pass. They allow their studios to be creative. That's another thing that I love about all of their studios, is that now you open the doors up for even more creativity. You know, they have an open door policy at Microsoft with their first parties. A lot of them reach out and help each other on different projects, different games, new IPs. They share tech. It's really like a cornucopia of talent and great studios there at Xbox first party. So, you know, and that's really what I wanted to highlight today. You know, not so much the third party stuff or their global publishing, which they're great at as well. That's getting better. The indie stuff, obviously, it's really the first party stuff. And this has always been kind of the harp on Xbox. And people really got to take a step back and see the progress that they've made. They've stood in the pocket, right? They've shot themselves in the foot. We cannot acknowledge the wins without the losses, right? So they've stood in the pocket, they've shot themselves in the foot, they've had to stand up, they've reneged on some things that they've said, they've made some empty promises, they've made some real tough decisions, unfortunately, which didn't benefit all of us. It happens in business, but the one thing that they have done is stuck to their guns, and they have a great roadmap, and the energy is there. You finally feel it in the community, and that's the one thing about the Xbox community that they need to hold on to, is that look at the direction that Xbox is currently going in. First party for sure. They have it together. They have everything that they need. Like, I went down the gauntlet. You want a platformer? We can do that. You want a fighter? We have those. You want a superhero game? We can do that. You know what I mean? You want an RPG? Which one you want? Right? Western RPG, we're the king of those. We could even go do a JRPG. We got relationships out there too. Hey, we got a studio in Tango. We can do the indie things. We got Game Pass, right? You want value? We got that too. So they got a little bit of everything, and it's a great spot for them to be in. So let me know down in the comment section, guys, what you guys think about Xbox first party studios, the direction that they're currently going in the future. Really, I guess 2024, if we want to look at it in the near future, what are you expecting? Which studio are you most excited for in 2024? But either way, once again, subscribe to the channel as well. Come out, the Shop Podcast tomorrow, 6 p.m. AZ time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Shop Podcast, 3:30. Check us out. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.